Hi everyone, thanks for watching my channel. Today what we'll be talking about is how I personally save money on my vineyard wedding. It was a dream vineyard wedding, and so I would say over $10,000 to be able to do this wedding. How I first saved for my wedding was by not getting a designer dress. Designer dress, they come with the price, and although they're very gorgeous, I was able to find something that was not designer. Before I get started, I want to show you my Pinterest just so everybody can see that to do my wedding. This is kind of what I did. As you can see, there was this is other stuff, but there's wedding flowers, there is wedding invitations, nails, wedding hairstyles, men's tuxedos, wedding makeup, boutonnieres, candy table, the wedding favors, and the wedding cake. And so I would just look through Pinterest and see things that I liked. And so for example, my wedding cake here. And it just kind of showed me everything, all different types of wedding cakes that I liked. And then from there, I was able to send this to my baker to kind of execute the wedding cake that I liked. And this one was the one that I liked, actually, without the flowers. Okay, so proceeding on, I actually use Pinterest to look for wedding dresses, and I didn't have a board for wedding dresses, which I should have, but I didn't have a board, and I ended up falling in love with this specific wedding dress, and I'll show you. They sell it at Nordstrom. It's the Blush by Haley Page. If I'm not mistaken, it's around $2,000 or a little over $2,000. It shows it's not in stock, but this is a dress that I actually really, really liked, and I thought it would go well with my body type, and I was like, oh, I really like this. It's actually all sequins. And then this is the back of the dress, and it's also all sequins. I went to the Nordstrom in Topanga Canyon Mall, or whatever that is called, Westfield Topanga Canyon Mall, and I actually liked it. I tried it on. It fit really nicely. But I noticed that the sequins were getting in the way, and it was kind of annoying, and I figured I've worn sequin dresses before, and over time it does irritate the bottom of your arm near your armpit when you're moving your hand on it, and so I wasn't fully sold on it. And then another thing is it was so expensive. I consider $2,000 really expensive, and I mean, that's my thing. I didn't want to spend that much money on a wedding dress when I could use that money for something else. So what I ended up doing, just kind of thinking about it, I just thought I was like, you know what, I'm going to try somewhere else. And I don't know how I came across this website. It's called Coco Melody, and I'll show you something that looks fairly similar. They always have these stupid ads on there, but look at this dress. The patterns are pretty close to each other. It's definitely a different design, and I don't. This is my thing about designers. I don't want something that is designer dress. It's kind of like wearing, you have a Gucci purse, but if you had a fake Gucci, the G's or C's or whatever it is. So I think designers, if you want a designer dress, you should pay for a designer dress. But this is definitely it looks very much like the other one. And I actually ended up liking this one a lot more. That little tool thing, you can take it off, and it looks really, really nice. It's different, but very similar in that it's sequins as well. This is without the sequins. And the back without the sequins. Very pretty. So how did I don't even know how I found this Coco Melody, but I did. And I happened to find out that there was one in downtown LA, and I live in LA, so I was like, you know what, I need to go see it. So Coco Melody is basically a Chinese company. Usually they have, I think, a few showrooms. Let me see. couple of different places that they're in, not too many. I'm pretty sure I remember one in Japan, one in LA, one in New York, something like that. Um, but basically, it's like online shopping for your dresses. And so I found this. So I actually went to the showroom area, and it was right in downtown LA. I think on Los Angeles and 7th or somewhere around there. Oh, close to the Santee Alleys. So you go into this building, you ask, it's one of those, you go into the building, you go to the 5th floor, and it's beautiful, all these wedding dresses there. So anyways, I went in to try this dress, and unfortunately they didn't have it, but I found a better dress that they had there, and I tried it on, and I just fell in love, and I'll show you this dress. And I mean, compare the price here too. Look, compare this price. Look at the train sequence. It's $549, obviously not including tax, compared to the $2,000+ on the other dress. But I can't really compare the quality because I didn't get to try this one. Obviously, the quality on the Hailey Page dress was beautiful, and it was stitched so nicely, so detailed. It was beautiful. I can't really assess this one. So this one's more of a little bit of a bargain if you ended up going for this one, because you'd buy it directly from the factory in China, and then you'd try it on at home. But I actually didn't want to do that because first off, I didn't know if it was going to fit me right. Second off, I didn't know my size. Third off, I wasn't still sold on the sequins specifically. I liked the pattern. I just wasn't sold on the sequins part of it. But anyways, when I went to the actual place, I saw this dress and I just fell in love. Mind you, this dress was not considered a bestseller when I bought it, which was a year ago, and it was not this price. It was $5.99 actually. It wasn't this price, but because everybody's been buying it, they went up in the price. But anyways, that's besides the point. But it's beads, and it's just beautiful. I just fell in love with the dress, and I just fell in love with the fit of the dress. I tried it on at the store, and it was my size. It was just perfect. It fit like a glove. Didn't need much fixing except hemming of the bottom. It's just the details on it for the price was amazing. If you can see this dress here. Let's see if there's any other thing. And what kind of pushed me to buy was these pearls back here. I was like, this is just looks so classic and timeless, and it's just a dress that I don't think you can ever say it's not in style, or it's that it might not look well in like 10 years that you watch this, when you watch your pictures. It just is so beautiful. So I ended up getting this dress actually, and I ended up adding straps to it because I didn't want it to be strapless, and it just, I think I ended up paying like $6 something, $7 something, I can't remember, but it was not $800, let me tell you. And so I just fell in love with this dress on my wedding day, and you can see on the left side, it just, on its own, it's just so beautiful. You would never think that I'd spend $600 on my wedding dress. I mean, it fits so nicely. The only thing the seamstress had to do was hem the bottom. Of course, I'm sure. So everything needs to be hemmed for me. It just fits so nicely, and it just fit the venue so perfectly, like timeless, romantic, kind of the rustic vibe that I was going for. So you can kind of appreciate the price here. You cannot tell it's a cheap dress. And honestly, the fabric was amazing. It wasn't cheap. It had a built-in bra already. It just was perfect. Wedding shopping is in downtown LA. I know Coco Melody is in downtown LA, but specifically here on Broadway, there's a lot of event stores, quinceañera stores, anything that has a quinceañera store has a wedding store in it too. So there was quite a few on this area right here, all this area. If you're from LA, obviously, you're not going to come all the way to LA to just go wedding shopping. I mean, it'd be a fun trip, but I don't think you're saving that much money anyways. But you go to these places and you can try on wedding dresses there. Sometimes they charge you, I think one of them that is so specialized in wedding dresses was charging me $50 to try a dress. But if I fell in love with a dress there and I wanted to buy a dress from there, the $50 would be used towards the wedding dress purchase. But they also give you a lot of One thing is, not all these stores you can try on their dresses. Sometimes it's just a mannequin dress and you can't really try it on, and you have to go through catalog and buy a dress. And that was a turn off for me, because how am I going to know through a catalog that I'm actually going to love the dress and try it on and it actually fit me perfectly? Again, it's not my thing. If you're more of that person that doesn't want to like to go shopping and just does a catalog, that's perfect. But I wasn't able to do that. But I would recommend that. Go on Broadway and just walk around, and you can find a lot of wedding places, and the dresses are not very expensive. I remember one of the dresses that I really liked on one of those was like $600 as well. And they can get it in as soon as in a month in advance, which is another thing. You could get it in so much faster than other places. The second way I was able to save money was on invitations. I didn't buy the very frou-frou detailed orientations that cost over $5 each invitation. I ended up doing it through Costco. I mentioned this before in my previous video about wedding hacks, and that was one of them. Buying your wedding invitation at Costco, and obviously it doesn't work for everybody, because I just was going for a generic kind of wedding invitation, but I was looking up like on Pinterest and all those, and wedding invitations are very expensive, like $5 per invitation. And they're gorgeous. I'm not going to say they're not, but I just wasn't that kind of person. So I actually went on Costco, their photo print, the photo center, and then I went all the way down, and hey, shop wedding stationery. And guess what? They have so many things, and they're actually really nice designs. Like, look at this marble design. This is gorgeous. Bridal showers, wedding announcements, they had so many. And I also did my thank you cards here too at Costco. It made it so much easier to do everything all at once. We had totally forgot to buy the petals, the rose petals for the girls, the flower girls, and the rose petals for the heart. And guess what? Costco came through too, because I had my sister-in-law actually go to Costco and just buy the rose petals. And it just came through, and it was pretty inexpensive compared going to my florist and having her give me the white rose petals. And I mean, they're not, why should they be so expensive? The next way I saved money was by and doing it yourself kind of centerpieces, in which I just bought all the raw material and I put it together. Okay, so this should not be something new. I talked about this before too. My wedding flowers, I got my ideas on Pinterest. So I wanted something like this, but I would have needed a florist to do that. And so I was like, well, I have to go for something a lot easier for me to do myself. And this is also floral bouquets I was looking at that I really liked. I just saved all of the ones that I really liked. And so what I ended up getting my idea from was here. If you see, this is kind of where I was going for, the orchids in the middle of the table, how elegant that would look. And I really like the vase here. So if you can see, I saved the same picture over and over again. And so I'm going to show you mine. So these you can see on the left is actually my homemade do-it-yourself centerpieces. There was 2 small orchids in there inside the vase, and this is a ceramic vase that we found in downtown. And the orchids, we bought it in bulk at the flower district in downtown as well. We made our own little table or placement tables there. And on this picture you can also see the decoration. This is the sweetheart table. Very minimal. We wanted to stay with very minimal just because it was just so beautiful there, all green. We also got these vases, or face, whatever you want to call it, in downtown LA, and we put large orchids, and I think they were double on each little pot, and it was like 8 of them. So 8 of the doubles, so it was 16 orchids all in here. And we actually made them in LA, and we drove them to Temecula, which took a while. They were pretty dehydrated, but it was so nice that the venue put them in their wine cellar where everything is cold, so they kind of revived. Another way I saved money was by finding vendors online and comparing their prices and deciding from there which one I would like to go with. The first vendors that I found online were through Wedding Wire, and one of them was the Vineyard, which is Faulkner, and then the other one was a hair and makeup. Although the venue was not so inexpensive, it's still a vineyard wedding, so it's still expensive. Temecula is considerably much cheaper than Sonoma or Napa. Also, the season that we did our wedding, we were able to get a discount on it because it was right in the middle of summer and it was very hot in Temecula. I fell in love with it, and overall, Temecula for the venue was so much cheaper than doing a vineyard wedding in Napa or Calistoga, Sonoma area because it's extremely overpriced. Temecula is much cheaper than those other wedding venues. And just looking at it, I just fell in love with this. This is on the way to the ceremony area. So there's a restaurant, and then you walk down, and this is actually the pathway to ceremony area. It's actually very secluded. And to get into the ceremony area, you have to go through the little barrel room. It's a really nice photograph area. This is a picture actually of the ceremony area. That's where we stood and said our vows. This is where we did a ceremony, and this is our violinist, who I'll be talking about next. And then this is actually us at the wedding. It's so nice to kind of see these pictures, and you're like, oh, reminiscing on the times. I don't know if you can see here, this is actually the ceremony area. It can seat up to, I think it was 100, 120 people. But it's so secluded. You can see the vineyards all around. It was just so beautiful and so romantic. Another thing that I got on the weddingwire.com was my makeup and my hairstylist. It was one person. Her name is Danielle, and her website is sayidoupdos.com. She came up through the Wedding Wire, and if you don't know about the Wedding Wire, you go through there, and then you can go through venues, like everything that you need for a wedding, and it gives you different options and prices. And she was actually the least expensive for Temecula area, and the most flexible in being able to do. And actually, one person, only Danielle, did hair and makeup for 6 of us, and it was so beautiful. She did exactly what I wanted. She did exactly what everybody else wanted to get done, and she was so professional. She was amazing. I would 100% recommend her. She did exactly what I wanted. Everybody used Yelps, right? I used Yelp actually for my wedding. I found my baker through Yelp, and then I also found my seamstress through Yelp. The way I went about the seamstress, I wanted someone close by my home so I didn't have to commute when I had to do the fittings, and I found somebody really close. She worked from home. She's been a seamstress all her life, and it was more of like a job after her retirement that she does on her spare time, and she worked wonderful. The cake, I actually never met her. It was all through text, and everything worked out nicely. I found her through Yelp. She has her own webpage. And then I just saw the reviews, and everybody seemed to be really happy about her. And I just saw her work, and I really liked it, so I just went with her. So both of these pictures are my wedding cake and the dessert table, although half the desserts are already gone when this picture was taken. But the wedding cake, I found my baker through Yelp. And I know it could be a little scary to go through Yelp because you don't know really their quality, but every review I saw on her was amazing and outstanding. And this baker, she actually doesn't have a location. She does it at home. She's a home baker, and she just did such an amazing job. She did exactly what I wanted. And again, I wanted something simple, so she was able to execute that very nicely without spending so much money. A lot of the decorations on the dessert table are also from Hobby Lobby, and I'll talk about what I got from Hobby Lobby as well. I've mentioned this before, but I also use Gigmaster to look for vendors. The one vendor I got through Gigmaster was my violinist. Gigmaster did the best thing ever. They found my amazing violinist, and she was very affordable. I was able, through Gig Master, I was able, kind of the same thing as Wedding Wire. You're able to kind of compare prices between people. She was so professional. She was amazing, and she played whatever songs I liked that were. She doesn't do contemporary, like modern songs, but the classical songs that I like. Fun fact, I played violin for 9 years, but ask me to play now. I can't even pluck the strings. I probably don't even know how to do it, but it was just an amazing feature that we had in our wedding, and people didn't expect it. And it was nice because you can hear the violinist as you're walking down the stairs into the ceremony area, and it was just so lovely, and it was so romantic, and a lot of people were super surprised about this, and I didn't have to spend so much money either, so it was a win-win situation in this case.
Okay, so how I save money on the DJ. I actually got this DJ from word of mouth, a friend of a friend of a friend. So I initially got a DJ from my friend who she always has this guy come over to her house for the parties. And I had gotten him, but for some reason, maybe a few months before something came up and he couldn't do it. So he recommended me his friend. And his friend was very good, very professional, very easy to work with.
Favors, and I don't know if you can see, the little bags hold a stemless wine glass, which actually goes well with the theme because it's a vineyard, and it actually has our names on it and the date on it, and we put little mints in it too so it doesn't look so empty. We got these from cheapfavors.com, and I honestly wasn't sure if it was going to come out nicely, but they came out so nice, and it was the cheapest website online that actually did these personalized wedding favors. um, and I'll actually show you in live how they look.
As promised, I wanted to show you actually my wedding favors. It's really hard to see them through picture, but I have quite a few. We bought too many, so this is a little baggie, the drawstring bag. That one we found on Amazon, and this is the stemless wine cup here. And it has our name and our date of marriage and little mints in it, just because it seems so simple. This was the most inexpensive way to go for me, and it just worked out nicely because it was, I mean, it went with the theme. It was a vineyard wedding. You get a stemless wine glass. I have a friend that did a really nice, smart idea, and it was, I'm not going to show you her name on it, but it says keeping it lit since, and then her name and the date, and it's so cute. I think she made this herself. Little matches. So there's so many different things you could do. This one's actually really useful. I don't know if the cups are so useful, but if somebody doesn't have cups at home, they can use these wine glasses. But this one definitely is really useful to have matches laying around. You don't know when you need them. Okay, so wedding decorations, I kind of shopped around for them. Quite a few I got from Hobby Lobby just because they were on sale. They were half off when I went to get them. A couple ones I got on Amazon. And so I went through Amazon in downtown LA. And so downtown LA has a lot of decoration stuff, but what I really noticed that if you went to downtown LA and looked for the flower baskets, they were cheaper on Amazon than in downtown LA, and so then I would get them on Amazon. Same thing with the guest book. It was cheaper to get it on Amazon than to get it in downtown LA. The good things that I did get on downtown LA was the artificial flowers that went in the ceremony, and then the fabric. And the fabric obviously is so much cheaper to get in downtown LA than getting online. But you have to kind of compare prices. If you want to save money, you have to compare prices with everything. And it's a bit of a hassle because you take longer, but you're saving money.
Pictures of me at the store at Hobby Lobbies. I actually took a couple of pictures of different things because I wasn't sure what I wanted. And everything was on sale. Everything, all the wedding stuff was half off. So I ended up saving so much money on wedding decorations here. This is some of the stuff that they had. I didn't get them all. There was these pictures, and then this of gifts and cards and the little pockets that I bought. And then what it ended up looking like, this from Hobby Lobby, really inexpensive, and it was really cute.
Thank you guys for watching. Comment below if you like the way I kind of changed it up today. If that helps you, if that makes it more interesting, please comment below so that I can keep doing that. Any questions, again, comment down below as well. Subscribe, like, and share, and I'll see you next time. Bye.